All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another one of my interviews here on Drip Talk with Blake Roberts. Today, I got two very special guests for their first ever interview for Afterglow. I am very privileged to be doing this for their first interview with current president of Afterglow and OG Glow Girl. And joining us is the executive producer, director of Afterglow. He's also the executive producer and director of Afterglow, and also the director of UPW Pro Wrestling. Sorry. He is no other than Stephen Van Beckum, and joining us is Roxy Astor. So we will get him on in here, and then we will do the interview.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Executive's a hard word.
Yeah, I was
I love it.
Yeah, I was stumped. I was like, I don't know.
Just say it 5 times. Executive, 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 executive.
It sounds like a fancy word. It just means guy that makes the TV.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you guys for doing this.
No worries. No worries. Loosen up, bud. Loosen up.
Yeah.
We're friends at other work. You can be friends here too. Loosen up. It's a nice friendly setting.
Yeah, yep. I like your backdrop, Steven.
Yeah, you like I got the sweatshirt on too. I got to represent both companies, right?
Look at mine is my bedpost there.
I love it.
I mean, both of them are great.
It'll work. It'll work.
Yep. All right. So I'll ask you guys first. When did you both get into wrestling, and what made you guys get into like the wrestling business and start being fans?
Is it age before beauty, Steven?
Ladies first, I go with it. Ladies first.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, okay. With me, I was back in the 80s. And I was also a fan of Glow before I was a Glow girl. So I would actually watch Glow every Saturday morning, and then I became Roxy Astor. But I like to watch WWF before I watch Glow. So that's where I really got into wrestling. So
nice.
I guess it's my turn. Huh?
It's your turn.
So
don't leave air, Steven, okay? Don't leave any air.
So I ironically enough, for me, I also became a fan back in the 80s. Much like Glow, I was also born in 1986. So I started watching wrestling as a young kid with my grandpa and my dad, and very early on was a fan of people like Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash, Diesel, Razor Ramon back in the day. Got the Hitman Hart, like all the old G's, and then I really just fell in love with it at a young age. I couldn't help but get into the creativity and the storytelling, and it's always something that just captured me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
it's kind of like playing house, isn't it? It's like fun play. It's not really work. It's just fun. Like 24/7, Blake. It's just
24/7.
Oh yeah,
you're not wrong with that. 24/7. These days it's been crazy. It's like nonstop, crazy.
Yeah, nothing like getting a text from Roxy at 6 a.m. So
yeah, sometimes it's 6 a.m. Sometimes it's like 1:30, and it's in different time zones.
Oh yeah.
Forget about those.
Yeah. Well, and it's fun for me too because I live in Wisconsin, but I work in Michigan, so I'm always back and forth between time zones already anyway. And then when you send me out to Vegas or other random places, I can't keep track of time anymore. I'm surprised I knew it was Monday today.
Yeah, the times.
Have an interview. Yes.
Yeah, the time zones are something that stump people a lot with definitely traveling and everything.
Yeah.
So Roxy, who are some of your favorite wrestlers growing up? Steven mentioned some of his. Do you have any favorites?
Randy Macho Man, my ultimate favorite. My son actually likes him too. So it had to be Macho Man. I like Mick Foley, and I like Jake the Snake.
I know.
I love Jake the Snake. Yeah. Now,
Fun story with Roxy and Jake the Snake, Blake.
Yeah.
So we were doing a show in Rubicon, Wisconsin, which is just like right outside Hartford area. And that morning we did a radio show down in Milwaukee, and we're up at the venue, and Roxy's playing pool with Jake the Snake Roberts. And you want to know who messed up her pool game? The Dev.
Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, Dev?
No, the Dev.
Oh,
a very young, much slimmer Devin.
Yeah, he was annoying back there. He was really annoying.
He still is.
Was he? No, he's not. Leave him alone. Was he rooting me on, or was he? He was rooting on Jake, right? It was Jake.
Honestly, Devin tends to switch back and forth to whoever's paying attention to him at any specific time. So I'm sure it was both of you.
I got to remember that. I got to remember that.
Right. Who's paying attention to me? That's who I like the most.
Got it. Yes.
Right.
The reference.
I love it.
Yeah. So when did you guys officially get into the wrestling business, and how did you guys start?
Okay, for me, officially, it was with Glow. It was with Glow. I grew up in Auburn, Washington, and we didn't really watch wrestling back there. And when I moved to LA is when I first started watching WWF and Glow. So I wasn't hooked at first. But then honestly, when I started watching Glow and I just saw like the characters and Matilda the Hun, Raw Meat, Mount Fiji. Also, I want to do a shout out. Happy birthday to Hollywood and Justice from Glow today. Happy birthday, OG legends. Yeah, so I just, watching Glow is something I've never seen before. So that kind of captured my attention.
When did I get into wrestling?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, geez. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to update so many social media pages, and I got all sorts of stuff going. All right. So really, I was 12 years old, and I was spending some free time at the Kenosha Community Media TV station here. And mom and dad were going through divorce. That was my way of getting out of the house at night after school, and I was going down to the TV station. And one weekend comes along, and these guys are like, "Kid, there's this wrestling show." Now you know where I call you kid at all the time, Blake. It started with me being called kid back in the day. "Kid, there's this wrestling show, and you want to come with us and hang out? We're going to go film it." So I show up to this wrestling show, and it was right when Badger State Pro Wrestling turned into Powerhouse Pro Wrestling, and this was back 1999, 2000, right at the millennium there. And I show up, I fell in love with it. And the coolest thing about it is the very first people I saw on that wrestling show were, you'll know these names, Blake, because you work with them, Vito Von Guido, Romeo Valentino, who at the time was Damon Ray, Judge Jesse, Peter B. Beautiful, Tiny Love, who just passed away not too long ago. I work with all these guys now. I sit on a booking committee and produce TV shows with these guys now. So it was really, really cool going into wrestling and now being 26 years later into it, which is crazy all by itself because I'm not even 40 yet. I work with the same people that I fell in love with that very, very first time. And really, that's a big reason there, Blake, why I give you so much credit for what you do. You go out of your way to find these people to come do your show. You market yourself. You put yourself out there. You show up at these events, right? You need to show up. And really that's what you have to do is you just have to show up. And that right there was a bigger reason why we brought you on board with UPW, and you're backstage correspondent now with UPW, which is cool because I did that exact same thing. Very, very young age. I was the ring announcer in the ring. They couldn't even put me in the ring for the first 2 years because, like, here's little Steve at 13 years old, 14 years old,
I love
sounding
it.
like a little girl. They called me Lillian, which is the funniest thing because Lillian Garcia was the ring announcer.
Yeah.
So they called me Lillian. I'm this little prepubescent teenage boy, and I couldn't even ring announce in front of the crowd. They had me backstage behind the curtain. And so, I mean, really, I give you props because I fell in love with it similar to how you did. You watch it, you show up, you do it. And really a lot of the people in the business start that way.
I think it's great that he's coming over to the Afterglow. I think it's great. So I've watched you, Jay. You've done a lot of interviews.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think, yeah.
So talking about coming over to the Afterglow.
Yeah.
Blake, we haven't discussed that yet. I suppose Roxy and I have discussed it.
I thought
we've discussed it with other people.
I thought this was part of the Afterglow. He's coming over.
Well, I'm going to bring it up right here and right now. So Blake,
Wait, right now? You're going to do it right now?
It right now. Absolutely, we're going to do it right now.
Oh,
so Blake,
way.
yeah. So I actually just signed somebody else today too, and we're going to bring that up. I just I don't know if you got the email, Roxy, about 20 minutes before this. So
yes, I did. Yes.
So Blake, you work with UPW. I work with you once a month. You've traveled with us to Vegas now. I know you're not afraid of travel. Afterglow is going to be on the road. We're going to go do some things. We're going to film a TV show. If you want to come with us, I would like to bring you with as a member of the Afterglow team and come be our backstage correspondent, just like you did with UPW.
Wow.
We'll have to ask
Oh, wow.
We'll have to ask your dad, and I see Sam's in the chat over here. So Sam,
Yeah.
got the okay, Pop. But a couple times a year, we'll take you on the road with us. We'll be doing this stuff on the weekends.
Wait, Steven, is that an invite? Is that an official invite?
That's an official invite. If you'd like to come join Afterglow season 1, Blake, we'd be more than happy to have you.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I'd be honored to do that. I mean,
I got the LOL from your dad in the chat. So
oh, wow.
Was the last trip that bad, Sam? Vegas was a blast. I honestly, I love what you do. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Sarah says yes, Blake. I love what you do. I love what you do. You give it everything you have. And I mentioned about a week or so ago when we made the Leela Hall announcement. And part of that announcement was my phone call to Roxy. Dude, watch these girls.
Yeah.
But part of that, Blake, was it actually didn't air on TV. I still have the footage from it. Maybe I'll share that to the public. But part of what made me want to do this so badly was watching you and watching Leela backstage. And you got Melvin Hayes, who's now UPW Hall of Famer. That's pretty cool. Just inducted the UPW Hall of Fame last night at Mania 3. And Kristen Halsey, our camera operator. And you and Leela were so damn nervous. And watching it back, like being a parent, like this is like it's kind of funny because you're watching the nervous kid, but you and Leela were so nervous, but you took the pointers they gave you. You listened to absolutely everything they said to you, and you took it, and then you did it. And it took a couple times, and you're smirking just like you are now. You were doing the same thing in that video because you just got nervous, and man, it. Watching you guys go from the nerves to like stars like that in an instant was awesome. She makes them blush.
But Steven,
I'm sure she does, Sam. I'm sure she does.
I think it's because you've been there before, right? You've been there, so you understand.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Roxy, even we've all been there. We've had to overcome the nerves. We weren't. None of us were just stars. I talk a lot just because I talk a lot. For some reason, people listen to me. If you make it sound great, anybody will buy your shit. Just look at me. I'm a perfect example. But you guys, you took the instruction. And that women's match, Sierra and Leela Hall, I'm hoping Leela watches this and eventually jumps in. Hey, look, we got some extra company on here. Tango Jones and Brian Marks.
Tango.
It's an Afterglow party.
Yeah.
Look at
I said, look, you never know who's going to pop up tonight. So I sent out a couple invites.
I love it.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah, Brian.
Did the rest of us approve this handsome young man to be joining us?
I don't know if I needed your permission on this one.
Oh, man.
So, adding on to Blake and Leela, and again watching that match, Leela Hall and Sierra and Jana Pride is the referee.
Yeah.
That match and Blake and Leela backstage is what made Afterglow happen. I can't stop saying that. Looking at you guys and looking at this group of young talent go from talent to stars and the believability and watching the match, Leela and Sierra, holy shit. Sorry, I'm going to swear a lot through this. Get ready, your producer, director, guy backstage is, I cuss like a fucking sailor. But anyway, it's my show. I'll do what I want. You guys were fucking amazing. And I go back and watch the Fatal 4-Way that we just had at UPW Marquette Mania, and watching some of the same talent, Leela Hall and these other girls in the ring. Really, what this talent in this generation right now is doing is making it an amazing time to be a part of professional wrestling. I enjoy coming to work because I see the people that I work with that are trying to be the next thing and these up and coming stars, and they're fucking incredible.
Steven, I have a question for you that I get from a lot of the Glow fans.
Yes.
What? Because we're going to have a lot of Glow fans watching this.
Of course.
And what can they expect from the Afterglow?
Well, Afterglow right now is that fresh thought, just like I said. This all, I mean, we've talked about over the years doing, hey, we should do something. Hey, we should do something. And it was really that March 21st, I believe it was, in Marquette, that Armory show that made me make all these phone calls and say, guys, we're going to do something. And I'm watching, Danica's in the chat over here. I don't know if you guys saw Danica over here.
Hi, Danica.
Danica, you can't be the old woman on the roster.
I
don't buy that. Oh, shush. Shit, I forgot what we were even talking about. I love that people are sitting over here involved in it and everybody's excited about this. The idea right now is fresh. We, as a group of producers, Roxy and myself serving as executive producers, and then we have Brian Marks, Tango Jones, and Peter Sisko, who people know as Peter Be Beautiful in the wrestling world. Pete's a brilliant fucking writer, and working with Tango and Brian, I took a picture of the four of us gentlemen last weekend in Marquette and sent it to Roxy afterwards, and this is the right group of people to work with. Yeah. We all bring something. We all bring something to the table. Tango's got connections. Brian's got connections. Roxy's got connections. I've got connections. Pete's got connections. But we all have a different type of background, and we've all done something different within the wrestling business that when you combine it all, there's nothing going to stop us. Right. What can you expect out of Afterglow? Yes, we have to give that nod to Glow. Of course we do. Women's wrestling today wouldn't be what it is without Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, and having that influence back in the 80s and the early 90s, and look at the stars that came out of it, and even eventually like Ivory going into WWF, WWE. That really started what you see today. So are you going to see a nod to the original Glow series? Absolutely. Is this Glow? No, because I can't call it that because that's for legal purposes. But hey, you're going to see women punching each other. You're going to see girls having a great time. You're going to see up-and-coming stars and rising athletes doing exactly that. We're going to get these people together a couple times a year. We're going to film our shows. We're going to turn that into 52 weeks of TV. From the get-go, I've committed to 52 weeks worth of a fresh television show every week. So we're already going into the season 1 with a 52-week season 1. Glow back in the 80s was 4 years, and it was 102 episodes.
Yeah.
Netflix, Glow, back in 2016, 2017, was only 30 episodes, guys. So already going into this with season 1, we're already setting the new bar. And I love having, hi Sylvester, hi Evan, Danica's in there. Sarah was up there from UPW before. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. What we're going to do as a group and what we're going to build and try to present as the next generation of stars is going to be incredible. And the people that we've signed on so far, I am so excited to work with. Brian's had a chance now to reach out to a couple of the athletes, talking with Tiffany the other day, and a couple others that are sending in their emails and the resumes.
Yeah.
Keep sending your emails and resumes, guys. Keep sending.
You know what? I'm liking the talent so far.
The talent so far is far.
I love the diversity. Every time it pops up, great. Does somebody have something on? Because I hear something.
No, I don't.
Do you guys
Is there
hear
a fan or
anything?
something? I hear a buzzing.
I do too. I hear a really.
It's almost something in the background, but
Somebody watching a TV.
No, I don't know.
My mic was muted, but let me check.
I know I have a fish tank and the bubbles are.
There it's
bubbling,
not.
so that
Oh,
might-
it's gone. It's gone.
It's gone.
there you go.
That was the white elephant in the room. Just so you know.
See, we call this troubleshooting, Blake. This is what happens on live TV. Sometimes you just got to troubleshoot while you're live.
Much better.
I
But
love
like
it.
I was saying, I'm very excited about the talent that everybody's bringing in and everybody's agreeing on. These women are great. Looking forward to seeing Danica. Looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
Danica popped up over here in the chat. Tiffany Avatar, Brian, you talked with her the other day. I
multi-talented.
personally don't know a lot of these girls. I've only witnessed their talent from afar. The ones that we've announced so far, just so everybody knows, these are people that applied and send me their resumes. Send me your resumes. I want you to do the work. If you don't do the work now, you're not going to do the work later. I'm a firm believer in that. Blake is a perfect example. Blake does the work. We're on here doing this podcast. I'm more than happy to help Blake out and help him get up and coming and get his name out there. And Blake's on Fox, guys. Hashtag Blake on Fox, right? Blake is on Fox, folks. So for everybody watching this and everybody that's tuning in and potentially watching this later on, we at UPW are doing something right now. And I'm taking what I'm doing there and I'm bringing it over here, and we're doing the same exact thing with girls. Sarah just said that they're hashtag Blake on Fox. I love it. That's funny. You got to start hashtagging everything that you do, Blake, with Blake on Fox. I think Tango put hashtag Leela on Fox too one time. It's a thing. Use it. When we went to Vegas a couple weeks or a month, it was a month ago now. When we went to Vegas a month ago, I told all these guys, if you're going out there and presenting yourselves to go get on other shows and you're not telling people that you're on Fox Weekly, you're doing it wrong. UPW started on public access TV. Afterglow is doing the exact same thing. We're going to start on public access TV. We're going back to the roots. There's Foxy Blake. Danica, he's 16. I don't know if we can say that. Almost 17. Yeah, Blake, we're almost 17 at least, right? Your birthday's in like a month and a half.
Yeah, in July.
In July? Okay.
Yeah.
My actual son's birthday is in July too. I have real kids too, not just fake kids at work. So I'm overwhelmed with joy. I'm excited to bring this to everybody. I'm excited to have the group of people I have with. Blake, your dad never answered in the chat. That's a yay or a nay. So we'll go into negotiations and whatnot. But Brian, going back to you talked with Tiffany Avatar the other day. Now that some of us have had the chance to reach out and actually familiarize with some of the girls, Tango works with a lot of them, so we'll get to you next. But tell me your experience with Tiffany, Brian. I would love to hear how that went and what you expect to see out of somebody that some people might not be familiar with.
Reason being, I reached out, like we were talking about. we get these resumes, we get the bios, and some of them are people Tango hasn't worked with, you haven't worked with, I'm not familiar with. So, and even this morning, I talked to Danica by just Messenger, and I actually spent probably a good hour and a half this afternoon talking to somebody else that sent in a resume because
I
I'm
hate to
not
cut
familiar
you
with
off,
their work.
but Blake Sam said, "Yeah, sure." So Dad's on.
Woo!
Right.
Right.
So, what I did was
There
started
we
reaching
go.
out to these. I started reaching out to these people like Tiffany, and she said, "Sure, let's have a video face to face." And when you reach out to them, I found out so much about her. She's so multi-talented and so hungry to learn and just progress her whole, skill set. And I actually, when I was talking to her, I was like, "What do you know about the history of Glow, even itself?" And she was like, "I know a little bit." I said, "Well, research it, learn about that, bring it in over with you to the new Afterglow." And then I said, "Now send me." I gave her my email. She sent me her. I gave her that. She's sending me more of her work. So we become familiar with that. So, and as we're going through this process, I'm learning so much about how talented she is, what she brings us to the table, and what she can do for us, and how we can use her within the organization. And, and learning about her, I learned even if, say, we needed her to, say, make entrance music, she makes music. She plays electric guitar, bass guitar, harmonica. I mean, multi-talented woman. So she brings so much to the table. It's amazing.
So I've noticed on a lot of the resumes coming in too, just as you're saying with Tiffany, these girls do a lot. Like really, we're getting stuff from voice actors, from just actors, people that haven't even
Yep.
stepped in before. To follow that up, I want at least one or two people, ladies. I'm talking to everybody watching this. Blake, we're gonna share the crap out of this. I'm gonna share this on the after page again later. I want at least one or two ladies that has never stepped in the ring before.
Oh,
I want
that's so brave.
I want people that have a passion for doing something that they've never done before. I want somebody that wants to step out of their realm. We have take me for example, stepping out of my realm. I'm not good in front of the camera. I'm better behind the camera. So it took me to do something I didn't want to do and relearn something and start doing something completely fresh. And 26 years later, I'm finally on Fox. But sometimes in life, people, you have to work at something and step out of your comfort zone. And you have to do something that you're not familiar with and something that you might not want to do. And sometimes you're going to do something you don't want to do and be the best fucking person there ever is at it. And that's just your thing now. And that's just how life goes. So I am talking to everybody watching this. I want any lady watching this, any younger talent, take people like Leela Hall, for example. The girl's like 18, just graduated high school.
Yep.
I know her actually. Like, just graduated high school, guys. Blake is 16 years old. Blake's already been to Meet Event once, right? It was an interesting experience. The kid came home with a guy, but hey, sometimes what happens comes home with you. That's okay. The kid took too many pictures next to boobs. Vegas. But these younger and hungry talent and people, again, that might not see themselves in wrestling, or maybe you do see yourself in a wrestling ring and you never thought about actually trying it. Now's your time to try it. Recruiting at afterglowtv.com. Send us your resume. Send us some tapes.
Steven, that's actually what Glow did. You're Matt Simber right now. That's what they did. I had to go wrestling. There were girls. Debbie or Debbie, not a lot of girls had wrestling experience, so we would kind of play on that, which I kind of like that idea. It gives people hope. Like, you know what, and I think anybody can do it. Have the
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Blake's an up-and-coming star.
Yes.
Because he has a passion for it. Look at Blake kind of in his comfort zone right now. How nervous did he start this interview off with? And at this point, it's just us chatting as friends. And the rest of this is going to be that too. So calm down, but it's okay. When you asked me the other day or said to me the other day, like, yeah, I don't know what to ask you, because usually it's like I'm asking the wrestlers the same questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Familiar and comfortable outside of your comfort zone. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to not know the correct questions, because sometimes there's not correct answers, and that's just part of life. Sometimes you got to go in there just knowing that you have something in common with somebody, which I can say about everybody in this room right now. The only reason the 5 of us are on here, I don't know what Pete's doing. It's a Monday. We might be making pizza at Papa John's somewhere. Side funny story about that. At one time, I worked at Papa John's, Pete worked at Papa John's, and Glenn Ruth, Thrasher, the headbanger that was at Marquette Mania 2, is also manager for Papa John's. So Sam says background noise again. Yeah, I hear it again too. Somebody's fish tank, was that what it was?
Possibly, I don't know.
But half of the Marquette Mania Papa John's employees, like, we all make pizza for our living at our real jobs.
Did we lose you?
Oh, I think we lost. Sorry, I'm down in the basement. Is it me messing everything up? Can you guys?
I don't know. Everyone's freezing, I think.
Everybody's good on my end.
I'm not.
Everything's good on my end now.
Tango, you good?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I just switched to a different network, so hopefully I pop back in.
I mean, that's a little better now. That's better.
All right. Stuff and things. Again, troubleshoot and just go with it. I forgot what we were talking about before we broke up.
Making
Tango.
pizza.
Making pizza. Yeah, making pizza. Half of the Marquette Mania 2 staff last year were all pizza employees. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it was just kind of funny because we all Papa John's, but we were managers in different states and different markets, so it was weird. Draven Stryker was even one of the managers at like a Madison Papa John's. Like, legit half of the staff was Papa John's people. Going back to the girls, the whole reason why we're here. I saw Rosie's in the chat down here, so we'll go ahead and make this announcement. I'll post it up on the Afterglow page here. Rosie Jones has officially joined us as a referee, and she'll be joining Tango Jones, who there is no relation, I found out. They just happen to have a same last name, which is a very popular name. So,
Or is there? You never know.
Right.
You never know.
Future storyline, who knows? So Rosie Jones is going to be joining us. Glad to have you on board, Rosie. Tango's definitely talked you up, like I said in the email a short time ago. So 2 talent announcements we just made today. We got Blake Roberts joining backstage. We got Rosie Jones joining us. I just mentioned Tango Jones. There's our 3rd talent announcement. So Tango Jones, who's on board as one of our producers, is also going to be one of the referees for us. And joining on commentary is going to be somebody familiar to my UPW fans, and that's Draven Stryker. He will be the only announcer following us over from UPW. Actually, that's not true. Blake the backstage announcer, but Draven Stryker, Blake Roberts, Tango Jones from UPW, all coming on board. And I'll go ahead and announce a couple people from UPW on board. I am very, very fortunate enough on the UPW booking committee to work with a man named Bill Baker. A lot of you know him as the UPW heavyweight champion, Samson. Samson's going to be coming along with us as a trainer. Bill's been training and coaching people for years. And another announcement I'll make, and Adam didn't know I was going to say this today, so I'll let it be. We were talking about him earlier, working with Blake and Leela Hall. Adam Hayes, who was just inducted to the UPW Hall of Fame this past week and is also going to be joining us as a coach. as we travel. So I couldn't be more thrilled to have these people on board. I work with them already. I love what they do with the staff that we have now. I can't wait to see what they do with the staff and the talent that we have coming with us for Afterglow. Tango, man, you work with a lot of these girls. You keep fishing a lot of these girls our way, and tell me your side of stuff. Like, what has the reception been like for you, and the feedback that you're getting from some of the talent, and what's it like working with some of them? Because I'm not too familiar with people like Rory Shield, who's fucking brilliant. I hope she's watching this or sees it at a different point. All these other girls, I'm going to keep talking these girls up. If you're with us for a reason. Tango.
Yeah, I mean, that's been my goal since we started. It is to do my part from what I know to bring you the best of the best that we have here, whether it be Detroit, Michigan area, Indiana, Ohio, anywhere in the Midwest. That's really my area of expertise. Everybody I've talked to has been really, really excited, really on board, ready to get going. I've looked for people that work well together, that have good work ethic, that do the work, like you said, do the work outside, the normal, go above and beyond, go the extra mile to, promote themselves, carry themselves with class, just character people. So the people we're bringing in, some we've announced, some we haven't. I'm very excited about. You've seen their body of work. I mean, the first one that I was happy to help get in front of your guys' eyes up at UPW was Leela, and that we saw how that worked out. So, yeah, it's one of those things not everybody's getting in, and sorry, not sorry kind of thing. But we're looking for high quality product right from the get go, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna keep doing my part. I got a couple more people in the sleeve that I want to talk to you guys about, later on. But I think we're off to an amazing start. The other thing about it too is we're getting so many people from different areas that I haven't worked with, and girls, women working together for the first time, matchups that you're not going to see anywhere else in the country. That's another thing that we're going to have to offer, and on a global scale. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'll say I'm proud of the quality of our roster and the diversity of our roster, and that is the biggest thing right now that I'm looking forward to, is just being able to put our creative minds behind what we have and just make magic, make shit happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm waiting for right now. But thanks for giving me this opportunity, and just quality. It's gonna be the best anywhere.
Yeah.
Following up with Tango's, not everybody that sends their tape in is going to get in. That's just the reality of it. Last week we announced round one's done. Going into this, we didn't know if there's going to be round one, round two, round three. We have gotten that much from people that we had to put a stop to it so we can actually sit back and take a look at things and assess it. There are, as Tango mentioned, names that we are talking to that we'll be announcing. There's names that are just getting announced. Fallen Gray yesterday being announced. These girls that are on board, again, are here for a reason. They're either talent who is a star in their own right, or they're somebody that we see potential with that can learn something. And Danica just said in here, what's the multi-year plan for Afterglow? I'll be completely real with you guys. Would I love to see this go for more than 1 year? Absolutely. At the end of the day, I have to treat it like a business. So let's get through year one, and we'll reassess going into, by the end of the summer, we're going to know if something's happening. Let's be real. We'll get through these first 8 months or so. The dates that we've posted right now go through September. Quite a bit of dates on there. It's about every 6 weeks. We're going to hit places like Denver. We're going to hit places like Washington State. we're gonna go out to the other side of the country and go hit New Jersey and maybe somewhere like Virginia or North Carolina. We're looking at different markets. The dates that we have set right now are based around TV filming. At the end of the day, it's a TV show, but we again have to run it like it's a business. So we're looking at all the details. We're looking at the different venue types. We're looking at the buildings and the setups that we can do with the buildings. This is all stuff that I do right now with UPW. Look at Marquette Mania 3 last weekend. 4 of us were there. Holy fuck, you guys. Wow. Like, I'm sure everybody's seen the pictures.
Look great.
If we can do that with a group of dudes, imagine what we're going to do with beautiful women. And that was my response to the producing group the other day. Holy God. Like, the amount of people that showed up for the event and have come to the UPW events year after year. The product is there. The long-term storytelling is there. We don't just do things willy-nilly anymore. And I'm carrying that over with this group as well. There's a lot of planning that's going to go into this. Sam says you're going to need security. Sam, we need security at UPW, buddy. We had a couple people getting a little rough on Saturday, and we do have a couple people that help out with security, but
Hey, Steven,
yes.
The Glow Girls are very excited about this.
They are very excited.
Yeah, I didn't know if I'd get it pushback, but honestly, I got a lot of messages from the original Glow Girls.
So, Gremlina was signed on to do Superior Fan Fest before all of this came about. So we got to drop that last weekend. Gremlina's already coming to the Fan Fest. You guys, Afterglow is going to be at the Fan Fest. You're going to already see another OG from Glow on the first Afterglow show. She will be there. She'll be in attendance. We don't know what she's going to be doing quite yet. But we're going to talk to a couple others. Few others that have reached out to you, for example. Daisy's reached out to you. I've gotten a message from Beastie even. I know Beastie's talked to you. You guys are good friends.
And Royal Hawaiian.
Royal Hawaiian. Right. I love April. April was with us in Vegas as well. Blake, you got to hang out with Royal Hawaiian. I'm going to try my best to refer to them as Royal Hawaiian and Roxy and not her real actual name. Because like when you hang out with them and your friends and you've been at their houses and stuff before, it's like, hey, this is so and so. But then you get out in front of people and it's like, oh no, they got to be that. I'm always just Steve. I've never changed. I'm just that. So for me, it's like I gotta get used to it a little bit. That being said, Roxy throws some really, really kick-ass LA parties. I've met some people there. The fact that the OGs are so supportive already. And we haven't even done nothing yet, guys. Keep that in mind. Look at the response we have on Facebook right now. We're at 1,000 followers.
Over.
Right. We haven't even done nothing. All we did was say we're doing it.
Yeah.
And people watching this, we're doing it. I said we're doing it. Roxy said we're doing it. We have the producers here on board, the writing team. We're starting to get this together as a business. It's happening. This first 52 episodes, we're already going to surpass the number of episodes of Netflix. I'm excited. Joseline, hi, so excited for this. I'm excited. I keep talking. Anybody else got anything to add? Blake, do you have any other questions for us? We're on like an hour into this now. It's weird. I don't shut up for not liking people.
Yeah, so somebody actually in the comments, and this was one of my questions too, is will there be any like championships or titles that we know of involved, like women's championship tag teams, championship trios, or anything?
There will be a world champion, obviously, or heavyweight champion.
Steven,
the verbiage we haven't decided. Yes,
Steven,
ma'am.
is there going to be a belt or is there going to be a crown?
Well, I I personally, and this is something we can discuss as a team, I personally feel like the belts would be the way to go. That being said, I would love to have that world's champion. I believe that we should have tag team champions. That's just a given.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to go as far as like an intercontinental or European or yada yada. I don't know that we're there yet, or if that's necessary. Getting the singles competitors, getting tag team competitors, and starting with a core group. Again, we're going into this with 52 episodes, but they're only half-hour episodes. They're not the 45-minute to an hour-long episodes that people are familiar with. So it is.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Before I get too far, over in the chat bar, you see that name, Jocelyn Navarro?
Yes.
If you're not familiar with Jocelyn Navarro, and I'm telling this as a like talent scout to producer type thing, just Google her, look her up on Facebook when we're done with this. Do me a favor. That's all I'm gonna say.
We actually have our booking committee meeting right after this, Blake. So you should feel special. You're running into our normal Monday web call time. So it's actually kind of fitting that we're all together. So we'll just get some of this out of the way now. But I will more than gladly look her up. Even the people that know people, Roxy can confirm this, Brian can confirm this, Tango can confirm this. Everybody that wants in, send in your resume. The group of us are going to look at it. This isn't just me doing it by myself. It was if this was me doing it by myself, it would fail already. I have a group of talented people that I'm working with, and I really, really appreciate their input and their support and what they bring to the table. So as a group, we're going to make all the decisions together. This isn't going to be just a one-person show. I very, very much love having people like Tango and Brian and Roxy and Peter as my companions and friends and colleagues. We're in
to add to that,
yeah.
And we keep saying send your resume in and do your work, and you keep saying that. And what I want to add is, and why we keep saying that too, is I've actively in this past weekend and today, I've actually started looking up people, and I've been sending out messages, and I wait for that response from the people to get back to me, and then I say, let me talk to you. I want to do a face-to-face with you by video. I want to know what you're about, what you're willing to do. Do you do tag team wrestling? Are you willing to do tag team wrestling? Are you willing to do triple threats? And they tell me all the things they do, what they will do. And then I'll even, like today with somebody, I said, now here's what I want you to do. I'll say, what do you know about the history of wrestling? And she said, not a lot. I just got into this. And I said, here's what I want you to do. This is what I see you being. And I said, look up these two wrestlers. I gave her homework. And I said, look them up, and I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. And I want to see if she's willing to put that work in and talk to me again. Just to see how willing she is to do that.
That's absolutely part of this. People need to be willing to adapt. I have people reaching out to us, and there's people that we as a group have discussed that we love, but we hate what they're doing right now. But they have potential, and they could be something. So really, at the end of the day, this is going to be about taking a group and helping make something, or just fine-tuning somebody that already is something. Because I definitely, by no means, I'm going to knock any of these girls. Again, they're all here for a reason.
Aww, Tango.
Look at that. So, Tango, if you didn't know, Roxy loves animals.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if you noticed that I had my shoulder. See her?
I was muted. I mute myself because they tend
mute
to
yourself?
speak up once in a while.
Is somebody's TV on in the background?
Yeah,
No, I don't even have a TV. My TV's not even on down here.
No, mine.
We're picking up a weird feed from somewhere.
I think it's. I feel like something in Blake's room because when he talks, it stops.
Like maybe in another room or something.
It might be like my microphone or like
There it is.
There you go.
something with my system, like my lights or something.
Keep talking.
The Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or my Bluetooth.
Could be.
Wow, way better, way better.
The interference of the signal.
Tangle, I love your dog.
Yeah, this is Bear. He's missed me. I've been gone for a couple days, so he's
Aw,
when you see him
Bear.
nudging, he's like, "Are you gonna stop talking and play with me?"
Okay,
But-
and this is Roxy.
Hi, Roxy.
Very fitting.
Yeah, I like coming into my house and going, Roxy.
This is gray hair growing in my goat because I do nothing but travel and then leave places like Marquette at 5 a.m. to drive 5 hours to go home and spend the day with my kids because it's part of parenting and what you got to do sometimes. But yeah, no animals here. I just have children. I love them though. They're nice people. I trained them well. I look at my son though, really. I look at my son and he's the most polite thing in the world. And I'm like, how did this come from me?
Right.
That boy's gonna run stuff someday. I'm very, very proud of both of my kids.
That's great.
What you got, Blake? Any more questions?
Yeah, so I know we were mentioning about like keeping in touch with like the original Glow Girls. Is there something that we could we see them part of Afterglow at some point? See them doing something or anything within the company?
Yeah. What will it be? We don't know right now. It could be appearances. Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. Appearances, I think, are very necessary. Could it be an appearance as a manager? Steve, what do you think? I mean, it's called the Afterglow. It's called the Afterglow, and and you are going to do a reunion at the end of this with the original Glow Girls. So
yes,
that's the whole build-up.
December 5th, Las Vegas. We will be filming the pilot the same day, 40 years to the date that Glow filmed their pilot. Really, the timing for all of this just happened to fall into place perfectly. December 5th, we'll go film the pilot the exact same day, 40 years later. In September, on September 13th, we're going to come back to Vegas. September 13th was the day that Glow premiered on TV. So 40 years from the date, we're going to come back to Vegas and we're going to have a banquet. And we're going to honor our Afterglow staff. We're going to honor the original Glow Girls. And the night before, we'll have a wrestling show. And I'll be completely honest. There are two Glow Girls. Ladies, if you're watching this, I'm sure everybody knows the two I'm talking about. I'm not going to say names.
You're scaring me.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But there are two Glow Girls that I'm sure everybody would love to see get their hands on each other. And ladies, for the sake of the sport, and for the sake of the wrestling, and for the sake of the fans, I'm not saying, I'm just saying you should think about it. But holla at your boy, and you know exactly who I'm talking to. Anyway, what else do you have for questions, Blake?
So for Roxy, what is it like getting to like represent the original Glow in a big way, now being the president of a newer version of Glow called Afterglow?
Oh,
that makes sense.
Honestly, it's an honor. Because I've been doing a lot of events with Afterglow, and it was back in 2014 when I got 11 of the original Glow Girls together for the Afterglow fan party. And then I've done 4 cruises, Afterglow cruises, and then we did a play called the Afterglow 80s Musical Experience that we won 2 Broadway World Awards, and now I'm doing Matilda the Hun, the Raw Meat at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. So my life has been wrapped up around Afterglow, and to me, Afterglow is Afterglow, like what happens after Glow. And then when Steven brought this to me, this idea in Vegas, I was like, yeah, wow, let's do this. I was very excited. And I'll be honest, what I've seen Steven do in the past, and Steven, we've had fun hanging out in the past. We've had
Absolutely.
a lot of fun. I didn't know that it was honestly, like even like with the shows, UPW shows, you got some talent here with these guys. I mean, when I saw how they put on a show, and that's what really did it for me. I don't just jump on a project because I'm asked to. I have to really feel it. I got to have passion, because when I have passion about something, I will see it all the way through. And I'm very passionate about this, and I love how Steven is so passionate about wrestling, about what he does, and these guys too. Talking, even through a thread and through our meetings, all these guys are really excited about it, and that's what makes it so fun. So I'm very honored and excited to be working with all these guys. Very. I'll throw some weird ideas around. I get ignored, but that's okay. I Steven knows that's me. I'll throw whatever's on the wall, see what sticks. That's okay. But yeah, I'm very excited to be heading the Afterglow Women's Wrestling, and it's true.
We're going to do a lot with this. We're going to continue doing more Afterglow events like Roxy's done over the years. The banquet, 40th anniversary, that's all going to be part of that experience. I would love to do another cruise. I actually never got to go on the Afterglow cruise, but
Steven,
I
they're
made a really
incredible.
gorgeous set of picture frames for it.
Yeah.
And brought like a dozen over to Roxy's house one day and said, "Here, give these out to the people that went on the cruise."
Yeah.
And I look forward to bringing new experiences to people and rekindling old experiences, because really that's what all of this is about. It all started from that original thought process of Glow back in 1986, and that, like I said earlier, is what really brought women's wrestling to what it is right now. And sure, it wasn't for everybody, and there are people that would like to discredit Glow, but whether you liked it or you didn't like it, it is what it is, folks. The women's wrestling scene as a whole was very, very, very much affected by things like Glow. And I'm not trying to take away from other projects that people have gone on to do. And obviously, there's other women's wrestling companies out there. Take WoW, for example, with David McLean. It's a thing that happens. It's just out there. And I'm not saying we're here to compete with that. I don't want to compete with that. We're going to be something completely different. I don't want to go into it giving it that type of feel to our product. And again, I mean no insults when I say some of these things to people, but we all have different tastes of what we expect out of professional wrestling. Danica said, "Will we do cruises?" You're goddamn right. We're gonna.
Oh yeah.
Right. I don't know. Blake's dad let me bring him to Vegas. I don't know if he's going to allow him to go out of the country, but something we can discuss. I had somebody mention, is there going to be a Chris Jericho type Afterglow cruise, and we're going to go do a wrestling show on a cruise?
Yeah.
I will say this because I'm fucking crazy, but don't count it out. Don't count it out. It could happen just because we talked about it and somebody put the idea in my head. It very well could happen.
Yeah.
Any of the people in the chat, do you have any questions for us? Or Blake, do you have any other questions? Man, we're like an hour into this, but how long do your podcasts usually go?
2 hours to 2.5.
Oh, okay. So we got plenty of time to fill. I can chat forever.
We will jabber all night.
Right. I go to Marquette at least twice a week, and that's about a 5.5 hour drive every time I go up there. And it's usually spent with talking with my other producers or my other writers. And now, since we've started doing the Afterglow stuff with Brian, Brian sits and chats with me for hours at a time on my rides.
Sometimes it's till midnight.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Very awkward times of the day that most people aren't functioning. Mr. Steve's still doing stuff. I'm up early. I'm the first person awake, and I'm the last person to sleep in the house every single day. It is what it is. You just got to keep going. Lots of coffee.
Yeah. So a question for Brian, because a lot of people probably don't know much about him and the wrestling business wise. So when did you get your start into the wrestling, and just what made you want to get into starting in this whole Afterglow and just in the wrestling business in general?
Well, I've always been a wrestling fan. ever since I was little. I remember, geez, my first wrestling memory is, I think it was watching Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA on TBS station at 6:05 p.m. when I was about 12 years old. And right then I knew I was hooked on wrestling. And it just continued on. And I got hooked on wrestling to the point to where I searched out wrestling. And that's why you impressed me so much, because you are so knowledgeable on wrestling and you know so many different things about wrestling. I would search it out to the point where I would search Puerto Rican wrestling, Mexican wrestling, any wrestling I could find, I watched when I was 12, 13. I was a early tape trader, VHS tape trader back in the day. So I just studied wrestling my whole teenage years. Then I joined the military.
Brian, you would have been so proud of Blake in Vegas, because we're walking around Vegas, and I shit you guys not. We're walking around with Blake in Vegas until like 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Sam, you're in the chat still. And this kid's telling me, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, that's so-and-so. I don't even know who some of these people are. And
Right.
I work and have been around wrestling for so long, but you get tuned into certain products sometimes and whatever, so you don't know everything. But just going back to your point, Brian, you'd have been so fucking proud of this kid. Like, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. And it's not just, hey, that's so-and-so, but that's them, and this is what they can do, or this is what they did, and there's a list of everything.
Oh, yeah, and
It's
that's
really
why I so connect with Blake, because he reminds me so much of myself when I was his age. When I was a kid, I would watch the credits on WTBS, and I keyed in, I said, Virgil Runnels is a producer. I was like, man, who's Virgil Runnels? I looked it up, found out it was Dusty Rhodes. I was like, okay, I'm onto this game now. But so then I joined the military, and as I traveled, I always found an independent promotion, no matter where I was at. And I would become a friend of whatever promotion that I could find in whatever area. And I always tried to help that promotion in any way I could, whether it be with rings, with, if they wanted me to, help them write something out, or lighting, anything I could, I would do there. Of course, then I would move on to the next area, blah, 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 and go and go and go. And then, as the internet took off, well, when it first started, you had where emails went out with news articles about pay-per-views and whatnot. And I got into that. So I started reporting on that. Then we get into the internet with, I try not to be into the dirt sheet business, because I don't like rumors and wrestling and stuff like that. I try to legitimately report on wrestling news. So I got into that, and it blended over more and more. So now I'm a contributing writer to the Cauliflower Alley Club. And now Steven, I started when Afterglow started up. Well, and I became a friend of UPW also, and I started going to all their events when I came back home.
We'll talk about Cauliflower Alley Club too, Brian, in a little bit.
Okay.
Roxy goes to Cauliflower Alley, so I want to touch base on CAC too.
Okay.
If you guys don't know what CAC is, or you're not a part of CAC, or you've never been to a CAC event, we're going to get into the reasons of why.
Yeah, it's a good organization. So yeah, and then became a friend of UPW for the last however many years. And I became a friend of Lloyd in an offshoot way, and I would help promote him on some of the different internet sites. And then when Steve came up with this, and he said he was looking for help, I just reached out to him. And what was it, Steve? You were like, we were talking, he's like, hey, Roxy said, blah, blah, blah. And then we were like, yeah, you want to help out with this? And I was like,
right,
sure.
Yeah, Roxy screenshotted me something from you.
Yeah.
And I swear it was within minutes, the three of us were all on the same page.
Yeah.
Like it happened.
Right.
Fast. This whole thing happened really, really, really fast.
It really did.
Yeah.
And honestly, it fit perfect. It really did, because I'm retired. And honestly, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I have a wealth of knowledge as far as wrestling goes. And I thought, man, I can add to this too. And we all get along so good. I said, I think this will work, and I have the time, and my family supports me in it. So I was like, let's do it. So I throw my hat in the ring too.
Great.
Yeah.
It is
Now,
man, that's bothering me. We got to fix that. We got to get you some actual podcasting stuff.
Yes.
what's bothering you?
The every time you unmute, there's that buzzing. I didn't notice it before until
Right.
somebody pointed it out that it was you, and I'm like, wow, really? We'll work on that.
It's like,
Yeah, I think it might be the mic that I have,
Oh,
because I know it's a used mic that I got from a garage sale. So,
yeah. I've gotta love thrifting.
not now.
Good stuff.
so I know you wanted to talk about the CAC. So whoever wants to start talking about that first, and whatever.
Well, Brian mentioned he's a columnist now with CAC. Roxy has been a member of Cauliflower Alley Club for many years.
Yeah.
That's actually where we met the first time, was at a Cauliflower Alley Club
And
convention
in fact,
at Gold
Glow
Coast.
Girls got an award. They got an award. I think Sunny got that together. I think that was that 2018 that the Glow Girls got an award at the CAC?
I believe so.
I think it was too.
Okay, yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah, CAC, so Cauliflower Alley Club is a nonprofit organization that gives back to the generations before us. And sometimes there's people that go down on their luck. Sometimes there's people that need medical expenses covered. And CAC is a wonderful organization that gives back to the people that paved the way for us to be able to do things that we do today. Once a year, CAC gets together in Vegas. People are always welcome to join CAC. CauliflowerAlleyClub.org is their website. If you're in the business, if you've never been to Vegas and networked with this group of people, or have gone to banquets or anything, I really encourage you to, because it's a great experience. It's a way to get yourself out there and meet some people that maybe you've always wanted to meet. And it's not for fans. It's not something that fans go to. Sure, some fans show up, but it's really meant for the people that work in the industry, whether they're a wrestler or an actor or boxer. There are friends of the CAC that are across many different entertainment platforms. And it's cool to go and bond and be with this group of people and continue to support the people that really are the reason why we're doing what we do.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Like, what is it this year? They're doing the roast of Mick Foley, which should be a good time.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, so I find, as a benevolent fund, it's just such a wonderful thing. So
Steve, who's all going this year? Are you going? You're going.
I will be there. Peter will be there. I'm trying to get Tango to come. I've mentioned it to him before. Brian's coming. So the goal this year is I would like to get a table for Afterglow, and I would like to get a table for UPW. And I'm hoping I can get the group of 20 or so to go and be a part of it, because really, again, it's a great organization. It's a great thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
And this is in Illinois, right?
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, the CAC's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, I was thinking of the other.
Iowa is where the Hall of Fame is.
Yep, that's what I was thinking about. Yep. Yeah.
We'll get out there one of these years too.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, where they have the event, you can stay right in the same place if you wanted to, and it's where they have the dinner and everything. So
Yeah, and then you can go party on Fremont Street.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, buddy. Stories. If you think Fremont Street's great with your regular friends, wait till you go to Fremont Street with your wrestling friends. If you've never done it, do it.
And it's 3 days long.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and really people start getting into town usually Friday, Saturday, sometimes beforehand. Sunday there's a unofficial wrestling show, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are the main activities. But honestly, really from like Friday, Saturday till Thursday, Friday, people are in town most of the week. and you never know who you're going to see pop up there. It's an experience. If you're in the business and you want to network and you care about the sport, you want to learn more about the sport, there's seminars the whole week that you get to sit in with and learn things from, again, the people that did it before us. Really, really cool.
Yep. What?
I hear that buzzing.
You got to talk more, Blake. You're killing us, kid.
Okay. I think it does this during every podcast or interview that I do.
What
That's
does?
a sign.
So
The buzzing?
What, the buzzing?
this
The
buzzing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
figure that out.
Hey,
I think it's because you have noise canceling stuff on your thing. So when you're not talking, it's trying to pick up whatever noise it can.
Is that the mic with the noise canceling or what?
oh yeah, possibly because I have the noise canceling cover over it.
Yeah. Whatever. Danica asks in the chat, we're going to be on TV. Yes, we're going to be on TV. I'll mention some of those stations. Are we going to do Roku, Amazon, etc.? Yes, yes, and yes. So I mentioned last week on one of the posts that we will be broadcast nationally through streaming. The announcement was supposed to be made on Friday. We're actually gathering more to it. So the announcement is still coming. It's kind of nice. I'll spill some of it right now. The TV stations we're going to be on. We got about a dozen public access stations across the country. Some of those places include New York. It includes Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, going out into Missouri, and bigger stations. UPW is on Fox UP. I am going to be shopping Afterglow, obviously, to my Fox affiliate, Fox UP, Gray Media up in Marquette. Gray Media is affiliated with tons of stations across this country. UPW is in the process of being looked at by other larger stations. And just like I said earlier, I'm going to do with Afterglow what I did with UPW. We were going to start small because that's how it's going to have to happen. And that's how things happen sometimes.
Yep.
But we're going to very quickly, folks, go from being on these public access networks and being on YouTube to being on an affiliate of some sort. I promise you it's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner than later. It might happen before January 3rd when our first show goes. My ultimate goal is to debut on our Fox affiliate and on other Fox affiliates. The streaming platforms I'll get into at a later date. Again, we're in the works of that. But Danica, to answer your question, yes, we'll be on Roku. Yes, we'll be on Amazon. Yes, we'll be on Apple TV. We'll be on Samsung TV Plus. You name it. If you have a streaming device and you can get channels in your house and do the search, you're going to be able to find us. And when I say it's going to be to millions of U.S. homes, folks, it's going to be to millions of U.S. homes. Whether you're sitting in your house and you have an Apple TV or Roku TV, or you're sitting on your cell phone traveling and you have Roku app on your phone, you're going to find Afterglow Women's Wrestling.
How exciting.
So if you guys want to keep talking, I'll be right back. I have to take a bathroom break.
Oh, man. The host has to take a break. I'm the one drinking coffee. All right.
Don't worry. We'll just keep taking your show over. It's fine.
Yep. All right. Tango Jones, you're the host. Let's go. What do you got?
All right. So, microwave ovens. Do you like them or no? No, I don't. I got nothing right now. I'm in my kitchen. If you can't tell, I'm kind of
damn right.
Usually I do this for my basement, but I got home. I didn't get home from Marquette Mania until 7 o'clock this evening, our time, 8 o'clock or 6, 7 o'clock.
That's crazy.
My wife and I basically just started driving in the general direction of downstate, and whenever we saw something we wanted to do, we stopped and did it.
Nice.
Okay,
anything exciting? What'd you find?
Waterfalls, rain, lots of stairs, lots of hills, lots of sand.
Waterfalls in Michigan are gorgeous.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys, I have to ask you, from me watching, how was the show?
Incredible. It was incredible.
I thought that everything hit on all cylinders, just like it went.
I see really good reviews, really good people said that it was a great show. Nothing bad. It's been all good responses. So was it really that good?
So the only bad thing I've gotten out of it was Ron Simmons wasn't able to be there. Jillian Hall was also not there. Jillian was not there for a different reason, whatever. I'm not going to get into it, not the time or the place. So the deal with the deal with Ron Simmons not being able to be there, there was a fire in, I believe, somewhere in Florida. Long story short, fire happened at one of the airports, and that tied up flights across the country for like 48 hours straight.
Wow.
Ron got on his flight when he was supposed to. The flight got delayed. Ron got to Minneapolis. That's how close he was to Marquette, guys. Like he was so close, he was willing to get into a car and drive the rest of the way. But by the time he got to Minneapolis, it would have been like after midnight by the time he got there. So that didn't work out. Marquette Mania. Sarah just said in here, it was amazing. Marquette Mania 3 was a absolutely incredible show, top to bottom. I could not be more pleased as the producer of the show. I look forward to finishing the editing. I've already edited the main event and the Fatal 4-Way women's match. Danny Moe is the UPW women's champion now. Congratulations to Danny Moe on that. Top to bottom, the show is great. UPW, as I mentioned before, the long-term storytelling. And worked with this amazing group of writers, and Pete's one of the people that helps head that group. Pete is an amazing writer. Peter B is so damn brilliant when it comes to storytelling. And UPW, working with Randy and working with Bill and Lloyd, obviously. I couldn't be more blessed to work with a better group of writers and people that are dedicated to doing what they're doing. And carrying that over into this is going to be awesome. And having the support of my UPW family is going to be awesome. Yeah, Marquette Mania 3, dude. Like I had chills talking about it going into it. I got chills talking about it right now. Like it was really a cool event.
Yeah, it looked like it. I like the arena.
Yeah, Lakeview is actually a great building.
Yeah.
They're in the process, I believe, of being sold to a private party that
Yeah, they are.
hopefully going to be overhauling the arena. So I don't know if Marquette Mania 4 is going to be at Lakeview. I'm not sure. The news is to be determined, I suppose. Danica, have I mentioned how happy I am right now? Maybe watery eyed. Aw. I love the response we're getting from the talent. I love the response that I get from my peers. Knowing I'm going into this with such a dedicated group of people and people that want to see it succeed. We've gotten phone calls, emails, outreach from people that you wouldn't think. And Roxy can vouch for that, because I'm sure she's gotten calls from people that she wasn't expecting to get calls from.
Oh, yeah.
It has been fucking insane. I really don't know how else to put it. It is insane.
It was very unexpected, wasn't it?
Overwhelming. Very overwhelming.
Yeah.
We're still going through emails and scoping out people that have sent in resumes so far. Marquette Mania 3 kind of took a little bit out of our weekend, guys. Sorry, we were busy, but I'll post videos on my personal pages. And if you don't follow UPW Pro Wrestling, go follow UPW Pro Wrestling. I'm proud of the product I put on with those people, and I'm proud of the people and the product that we're putting together here, because it's going to be just as incredible as we're talking about. There's no doubt in my mind.
All right, so to get back to me, this is another question for Roxy. So from what you did in your glow days, what are some like words of advice and wisdom that you'd give to these other ladies now that are partaking in this new adventure of Afterglow?
Well, I'm being in Glow. It was probably the best experience I ever had. Um, just being around, but see, we were around the same women all the time. I want those girls to have that same experience, to feel good about what they're doing, who they're working with, and honestly, have fun with it. Have fun. Yeah, you got women together. You're going to get a little bit of drama, but that's life, you know. But honestly, I had a lot of fun, and you know, it's just you gotta be passionate for it. And the girls that I see coming in, I see a lot of the Glow girls, like their vibe in it, which is very fun to watch. So, yeah, just have fun with it.
Yeah, that's great words. Yeah.
I didn't buy that, Blake. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that's cool.
Make me second guess this pick you made there, Steve. I don't know.
After what you wanted. We got Dan Magnus in the back, Stephen.
Does he remember me this time?
Yes, he does. He does.
Yes, he does. I love Dan. If you guys don't know who Dan Magnus is, that's another name you need to Google and look up. Dan Magnus is one hell of a champion and a fighter. In the last few years, he's overcome some health battles, and fucking Dan's one cool motherfucker. That's all I gotta say.
Blake.
Yeah.
When you heard about this project, what did you think?
My thoughts were, I mean, it was pretty cool because I obviously was a fan of Glow. Obviously, I wasn't alive back then because I'm 16. But
none of you were.
No, I was.
Okay.
But I mean, I've interviewed a lot of the Glow girls, and I'm friends with a lot of them on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So I know a lot about Glow, and it just see now this coming into fruition with a lot of like the people that I know and work with in UPW, seeing how they brought it up. It's pretty cool to see, and now announced that I get to work with it now, and so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, get to hang out with some Glow girls.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah, life-changing.
So somebody said to me the other day, like what's Vegas going to be like? I said, well, honestly, picture a van of absolutely beautiful, gorgeous women, and then a couple hideous chuds that are producers from the Midwest, and that's what Vegas is going to be like.
I believe that would be
this whole experience. I'll get into it a little bit more in depth of what we actually have as a vision. Vegas is going to be the best example of it because that's where we're going to start doing the debut filming. The goal is we're going to get the girls into town a couple days beforehand. We're not just going to fly in on Friday, do the show Friday, and everybody's back home on Saturday. That's not how this is going down. This is going to be a one team, one dream kind of thing. The goal would be to get everybody into town Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is Danica's funny as fuck, by the way. If you guys read the chats, it's hilarious. So the filming in Vegas is going to be the start of it. We're going to get into town a couple days early. The girls are going to work with acting coaches, and they're going to act with, they're going to work with personal trainers, and they're going to work with wrestling trainers. And this is going to be a thing every time we get together as a group over the first 8 shows or so, and probably going forward. So the whole goal out of this is to help mold the next generation of athletes and talent. And we have a lot of people that have reached out to us, including Original Glow Girls and other people in the acting world and personal training world that want to come in and work with these people. And I'm talking guys like It's not even people hitting me up saying, "Oh, I'll do it for X number of dollars." It's people hitting us up that are really truly excited and want to be a part of this, that really want to do exactly what we want to do, and that's help mold the next generation. In the chat over here, it says, "What can a viewer expect from the 52 episodes? Taping of a live wrestling event? Is it a documentary? Is it scripted?" It's professional wrestling. Is it scripted? Yes, absolutely. That's just that's part of it. Most wrestling fans, I hope, understand that at this point. It's a TV show. At the end of the day, what we do is TV, especially in this type of environment, and what we do with UPW. So I'll use UPW as an example because that's what I do currently, and that's what we're going to be carrying over here. A live event right now, we film every 4, 5, 6 weeks, and out of that live event, we do seven matches. In that 7 matches, the first half of the show is roughly 10 to 20 minutes a piece for the matches. The second half of the show, the last 3 are a little bit longer, 20 to 30 minutes. Out of that 7 matches, we're going to take that and chop that down into 6 30-minute episodes. In those 30-minute episodes, you're not just going to see the matches, but you're going to see the hosts of the show doing the ins and outs. You'll see advertisements. You'll see promos for our upcoming events. You'll see backstage interviews and everything that you love out of a professional wrestling event. Going back to the original Glow, is there going to be song and dance? I don't know, guys. I honestly, I can't answer that at this point.
Is there going to be rapping?
Is there going to be rapping? I feel like there has to be rapping. Somebody's going to rap, whether it's Roxy by herself or it's the whole entire cast. Somebody on Afterglow is going to rap. If
maybe
you
Peter.
are, maybe Peter. So Peter Be Beautiful actually wanted to be the Glow champion at one point.
Oh God.
I'm looking forward to the people that we have on board already behind the scenes. The talent's going to be bar none. The ones we've announced so far, holy shit, right? I mean, these girls are amazing talents. They all have, again, their names in their own rights. The TV show is exactly that. It's going to be a TV show. Is it going to be drama? Yes. Is it going to be acting? Yes. Is it going to be girls punching each other in the mouths? You're goddamn fucking right. It's going to be. I'm looking forward to the group that we're going to present. If you, in a 30-minute episode, how much wrestling you could expect? Honestly, you're going to see probably 2 matches in a 30-minute episode. Sometimes we'll start a match and we'll go halfway through the next match and, hey, we're out of time. We'll see you next week. It's a good way to get people to come and tune in next week, actually. It works out better than some people would think. UPW right now up on Fox is pulling some pretty goddamn good ratings up in Michigan. So if we can take long-term storytelling, keep people interested, get the people excited about the talent. There's talent right now that we're talking to and talent that we'd like to see come in. As I mentioned earlier, we love some people, and some people have horrible gimmicks. I'm just throwing it out there. That's part of wrestling, and that's part of what we're trying to overcome here and what we're trying to accomplish. Not everybody has it. Some people need to build it. So that's what we're going to do. Sometimes somebody might be better with a different character than they are right now, and they just don't understand that yet. And hopefully that's something we can bring out of people. Again, the women that we have right now are all talents in their own right. They all have a style. They all have a look. They have the passion. Danica's in the chat right now, and she's been asking tons of questions. And
Talked to her this morning, actually.
I absolutely love it. So Danica, going back to one of your previous questions, I was looking around. Am I the first woman like me of this type of the show? Yes. Are you going to be the only one? I don't know. We're looking at lots of people. We're really looking at lots of people. At the end of the day, it's a TV show, and we have to look at everybody that we have presented to us and what are we going to present to an audience. I love what we have right now. All of the girls that we have are all different types. They have different backgrounds. They're different body shapes and sizes. And there's nothing wrong with people being people at the end of the day. and really that's a big thing of life. It's a great group. Go look at what we've announced. The ones that we're going to announce, you're gonna love it. We're probably going to have a good 20 girls, if not more, in this first season of Afterglow. We have 52 weeks of TV we have to fill. There's going to be some people evolving in episodes. There's going to be people that are, again, like I said, we might have to start showing a match on one episode and finish it on the next episode. So there might be times where you see the girls back to back, week to week. All of this is stuff that's going to be determined in writing. All of this is going to take us time to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to present it. But we have some stories in mind already. And in Hollywood and in film and acting, sometimes you have to put people into those type of roles. Then you have girls that are coming to us that already really are their own characters and have their own roles. So it's going to be a blend of everything.
And to bring it back on that,
yes.
like with Danica, her character is a character in itself, right out the gate almost.
Danica is very mommy-esque. I don't know if I'm sure you guys know who Rhea Ripley is.
Yeah.
Catch the reference though. Danica is very mommy. Like it's
and
very
if,
like.
And
she's a fucking beast.
And if anybody knows who, well, I'm sure most people know who Gangrel is. She's even worked with Gangrel. It's that type of vibe. So,
looking at Danica, for instance, if you haven't seen her stuff, watch her stuff.
Yeah.
Watch her stuff. Watch how she performs in the ring. Watch the fact that a lot of these people are new to this. Fallen Gray, who I announced yesterday and we talked about briefly earlier, like a year and a half, 2 years into this. Dude, these girls in such little time have grown themselves to be such big things and something that people are wanting to see. And a lot of them are kind of hard to get to secure for dates because that's how far out they're booked for these shows. And good on them. Good on them. I'm really I'm impressed by the people reaching out to us. Holy shit. What you got, kid? Kill the silence.
Okay. So I know we mentioned David McClain a little earlier. Is there anything we could possibly see with him in Afterglow, or maybe like make an appearance or anything?
Whoa, that's gonna be a question for a little bit of me and a little bit of you, Stephen. One thing about David McClain, now you got to keep in mind he's the originator of Glow. Okay, so he now has WOW. We have visited his shows. A lot of the girls have gone over to support David McClain, which is great. And we support the girls of WOW. And it's kind of fun to see the characters that were back in Glow that are now in WOW. I think you have Chainsaw and Spike, you have Americana now. There's a couple of Beverly Hills girls based kind of like on characters, Ferrari. Now, is that an invite? Would you invite David McClain, Stephen?
All right. I will say something that goes to everybody that was ever involved in Glow. You are all welcome to come to Afterglow. And whether it's to come visit as a guest and hang out and just chill and be backstage at a show, or whether it's to come a couple days early like the rest of the girls are and sit and talk to these girls and these up-and-coming talents and athletes. David McClain, obviously, there wouldn't be Glow without David McClain. If he ever wants to come pop by, or if he ever wants to give us a call or give us a chat or words of encouragement or advice or whatever, I'm open to talking to anybody. I love the group of people that have reached out so far. It's been, again, really, really overwhelming because some of these people I never thought I'd talk to in my life. Um, I'm just some dude from Wisconsin that started out on public access TV at age 12, and now I'm on Fox in Michigan. It's weird. Really, really weird. But the biggest statement I have about Glow is it wasn't Gorgeous Lady of Wrestling. There wasn't just one. There never was just one. It was always Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Ladies.
And that same type of mentality and environment needs to be what we have at Afterglow. And I welcome everybody from Glow and anybody that's been with WOW or any of these other women's organizations. Reach out to us. I'll talk to anybody. It doesn't always have to be a relationship like, hey, we're going to throw you on TV. Some people work on other people's TV shows and can't be on your TV show. That's just life. That doesn't mean we can't talk behind the scenes. But I just want to reiterate, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. There was how many women on this cast over the 4 years? Look at Netflix Glow. How many women on that cast? I welcome all of you to come pay us a visit. We're going to have this 40th anniversary celebration next year in Vegas. You're all welcome. You're all welcome. I would love to have you there as a guest. We'll sell tickets to these events. We're going to have more details on all this stuff as it comes into place and falls into place. But when we debut in Vegas, I want to see you guys there. I'm sure the new girls and the new talent, the new cast would love to see you there. They would all love your support. Matt Simber, David, you're all welcome. Johnny C, you're welcome. The OG Hollywood, you're welcome. Sonny, all of you. MTV, Beastie. I want to see all of you girls support this new this new up and coming group, and I think it would mean the world to them. It would mean the world to me. I'm sure it would mean the world to Roxy and to my co-producers here.
Yeah, and also it would really mean the world to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Glow nice about it.
Well, so Glow was a cult phenomenon. Glow's like Rocky Horror Picture Show type of thing. Like you either loved it or you hated it, but it had its following. And to this day, Glow still has its following, and it's a very, very, very strong following. So to the Glow fans, to the Glow family and original cast and Netflix cast, we're family, right? We're all family. We all started this for the same reason, and we're all doing this for the same reason, and that's because we love what we do and we want to do it. So again, I would love for all of you to reach out at some point. I'm personally not going to go out of my way to seek people out. I'll make that clear now. We're going to put on a hell of a product. We're going to have a great group of people, and I would love for you all to be involved. But at the end of the day, this is going to be run like a business, and we have to proceed like it's a business. So
if I
yeah.
say this also, we have lost a lot of Glow girls, like in the last 10 years, around till the Sally, Faye, so many Glow girls, and I think this event, getting them together, would really be. I kind of call it like a league of their own. How we all kind of come together, and maybe it could be the last event where we get the original Glow girls together, before anything else happens.
Yeah.
It's been a lot the last few years.
Well, going into the Glow 40 for the banquet, ideally, I would like to have that banquet be with as many as possible. Yeah. And again, whether it's the new Afterglow cast or the Netflix Glow cast or the OGs from the 80s, you're all welcome to join us. I want to have that night be a celebration. We're going to tell stories. We'll get some people on the stage who can tell stories. All of this is up in the air, and nothing's really set in stone. But we're gonna get together. We're gonna have dinner together. We're gonna watch We'll watch the debut of Glow from the 80s. We're gonna watch the debut of Glow from Netflix, and we'll watch the debut of Afterglow. And we're gonna celebrate. And we're gonna celebrate the new generation. We're gonna celebrate the original generation, and we're gonna celebrate professional wrestling and women's professional wrestling.
And we're gonna have a buffet, right?
Well, we sure as hell aren't going to Gold Coast. Couple of those Vegas meals are kind of meh.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
I would like to see some of like the Glow girls that are disappeared and haven't been out there a lot. That we haven't seen for a while to possibly come back out and see this and maybe get connected back again and just, possibly.
Well, if I could say this, there's a lot of girls that I'm in touch with. You have Tulsa, you have Corporal Kelly, you have Dementia that's still out there. There's a lot of girls. You have Jailbait. She shows up at a few. I think for the right event, and I think the whole buildup of what's going on and how professional this is, and I think the girls are going to come out for it, and I think the girls that have not come out for a lot of things, I would love to get Zelda the Brain out. She lives in San Diego, so there's a lot of girls that we could actually bring that people have not seen in a while, and that's my goal.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You're killing me, kid. What else you got?
How about Tango hasn't said anything much? How did he start getting into the wrestling? Because I don't think we heard his story yet on how he got into the wrestling business and as a fan or anything.
You ever seen the beginning of the 1980 film Superman with Christopher Reeves when he comes down in the giant meteor from space and hits and opens up, and then this god of a man comes out, well, in the form of a baby? That was me, except for the wrestling version. No,
Out of the womb.
but really, I am that old. I started just like most everybody else, just being a big fan of it. Watching with my dad when I was 6, 7 years old, which would put me in the early to mid 80s. Really started watching. What was cool is I would talk about public access TV and things like that. Before I really started watching like WWF and things like that on one of our smaller networks, we would have 11:30 at night, kind of like how 12:30 at night UPAW's on right now. I would watch Mid-South Wrestling from Tennessee and watch all the guys before they were superstars like Jake Roberts and Ted DiBiase, Steve Williams, Junkyard Dog, all those guys, and just fell in love with that. And then when I discovered WWF and the big time stuff, and then watched all these guys come over and look even more larger than life, it just kind of something that really stuck with me. Always enjoyed going to live events and said that's what I'm gonna do one day. And I didn't take the direct route like a lot of people do. It took me quite a few years to finally go start getting trained and get involved. But once I did, the love just even picked up even more for it. So I spent the last few years mostly doing the referee thing around the Midwest. I occasionally, I'm lucky enough if like a bigger show like a TNA or something's in town, I'll go help out with them, either with production or extra work, things like that. And just the more, it's one of those things, the more I do it and the more roles I take on, the more I love it. So it just keeps snowballing and growing and growing. And that's why I'm really excited with this opportunity to, trying a different hat. I've done all the in-ring stuff you can. I've wrestled, ring announced, referee, commentary. I think just about all of it. I've done a little bit of behind the scenes stuff directly, but now we're getting into the writing, more of what I think is up my alley, which is like the scouting, the talent scouting, the recruiting, and the just like we talk about Pete having like a insane brain for writing this stuff. I think there's a lot of untapped things, I've got to show yet. I'm going to pay my dues, but yeah, just like anybody else, one of those things you fall in love with it, and the more you learn, the more you do. And I'll say this for anybody watching right now too, and it's not just the more you learn to do. Like Blake, you're young. Like get there early, learn how to set up the ring. I don't know what you've learned, what you haven't learned. Just learn all the little things here and there. Learn how the right way to ring the bell. Learn how to, what's the right way to talk to people in the locker room, bring gear back. Just pick up little things, because you never know when somebody is going to need somebody at some weird spot and say, hey, I need somebody who can do this right now.
Again.
And then next thing you know, you're their go-to guy. You would get a reputation for, hey, he's ready, he's with it. I mean, I don't want to blow up my spot right now and give the big secret away, but I've been compared to, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Forrest Gump. You know how he kind of lucks into everything, just kind of, gets shot in the butt, meets the president kind of thing. That's me. I'm kind of like the Forrest Gump of wrestling right now. I just right spot, right time. One of my mentors told me it's great to be lucky, but I know I'm going off on a tangent right now, but I'm filling time for you. It's great to be lucky. You heard me, right? But you have to be prepared, right? Preparedness is just as much a part of luck as anything else. If you're not prepared for when you get that lucky moment, if you're not prepared for when you get that one chance, you might not ever get that chance again. So just learn what you can. If you love it, learn everything you can about it, and just be a jack of all trades. But yeah, that's how I got into it. It was something I wanted to do, and I wanted to learn everything I could about it. So that was a really long answer to a simple question, but sometimes I do that, so I apologize.
Oh, good. Longer answers are usually the better ones. So, for a question for Steve, so we have the Superior Fan Fest coming up in Marquette.
Oh, good
When
question.
did that originally become an idea for you, and how do you feel getting to run your first fan fest and just getting to book these talents and everything that's going on?
So with UPW, we've done Marquette Mania a few years now. This was Marquette Mania 3. I've always had a part in hosting a singular one-day event, but I've never done something that's been a multiple-day event. This is something that's been talked about for quite some time. It was originally at one point UPW was going to do a fan fest, and then we're all busy people. Really, that's the short of the UPW stint of it. I asked permission from Lloyd and from the rest of the booking committee if it was okay that I went off and just did it by myself. I'm fortunate in the 25, 26 years of being around the business now that I've met some really, really cool people, and doing this fan fest for me, I've done, I've worked larger events like this at 42 states. I'll show you my map one of these days, and you look at the map of all the states that I've worked in doing fairs and festivals, and that's what I did for a good decade. So I've been a part of it, working the festivals and helping put them together, but I've never actually done it myself. So far, it's been a really, really interesting experience. I've talked to quite a few people, again, that I've never in my life thought I would talk to. You ever talk to Bozo the Clown and Barney the Dinosaur in the same week? No, kind of weird and kind of fucking amazing. So I started reaching out to everybody and anybody I can think of that we can try to get into this event. We're going to do a 3-day long show. Friday's going to be like a preview night, 4 to 8. And then Saturday will be a full day. Sunday will be a full day, but ending at 4. And then Afterglow will be at 5 o'clock. Just so there's a little bit of a break in between hand. But we've got food truck vendors involved. We've got craft vendors. We've got artists coming from all over the place. There's a local author that actually just signed on with us in the last week or so. I got to post that information too. But I get to take wrestling stuff that I've been around forever and marry it to something that I've always wanted to do. So far, it's working. We've gotten some pretty good feedback. There's a lot of local people in the Marquette area that are involved. But I get to bring Afterglow to life at this event, which is kind of cool. Again, this all just kind of came out of nowhere, and we're doing it. But with Afterglow also coming in this event, we potentially have another Roxy production that we're going to be bringing to the Superior Fan Fest. We're just waiting for a couple more confirmations from people on her end to make sure that can happen, and we'll announce that as well. But we have friends like Madman Fulton and Tully Bertorelli that have been in movies. We're going to be screening a movie at Superior Fan Fest. We'll have a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Dr. Frankenfurter, Bobby Glenn Brown does the local Rocky Horror production in Marquette. So we've got people like Bobby involved. We've got local cosplayers. We've got a couple actors from Star Wars. Al Burke, who is a friend of professional wrestling, and a lot of people know him from The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler. Sorry, brain fart. I was going to call him Billy Madison for once. I've just seen way too many of his movies. But Al Burke's coming. We've got some Star Wars people coming. We've got some of the original Glow Girls coming. We have We have a couple stage productions that are going to happen. We're going to have a concert Friday night, a concert Saturday night, 2 wrestling shows, one Saturday night, one Sunday, and vendors, food trucks. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I think a good guest to bring in would be Tyler Main, the former wrestler and then horror actor.
Are you pitching me ideas right now, Blake? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
It's like everybody like, oh, I should the stuff with Afterglow right now, like I said, it's been pretty overwhelming. So it's oh, hey, did you talk to this person? Or oh, hey, did this person respond? Or oh, hey, this. The coolest thing is I get to tell people, hey, apply. I have to treat it like it's a business. It's just like a job. If you go to any other job or any other gig, you got to do the same thing. You got to apply. Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah asked a question a little earlier. She said, what's the hardest thing about putting on a show?
Who wants to answer that one? Or is that directed towards the producer?
Whoever wants to answer it.
All of it.
Well, Dan Magnus is here, and he actually put on a show where he brought Roddy Piper into his show, and there was 5,000 people there, and it's a pretty good story.
Yeah, I just piggybacking off of what these guys said. Look at Marquette Mania. We started planning Marquette Mania 3 the day of Marquette Mania 2. Danica says down here, getting ring crew. Getting ring crew is a big thing, right, Blake? You just found that out ripping down the ring at Lake Arena in Marquette this weekend. So
yeah,
travel with a 20-foot ring, guys. It legit takes like 8 people to carry a side of ring because it's a big ring. It's not the normal 16 or 18 footer that you see on most indie shows. We're a large production. We're a large scale production. We do things in bigger buildings. We're big. We're big. Go big or don't go. That's kind of how I look at it. Yeah, getting ring crew is kind of an issue sometimes because nobody wants to haul around all the metal.
I think a lot of it too, it depends on the size of the show. I don't think people see from the outside looking in, they don't know the exact logistics of putting together just one show. You know what I mean? Between the talent, writing, producing, putting up the ring. I mean, the whole logistics of the whole show, like Tango said, the whole thing. I mean, it's just logistically, it's a
Right
lot.
now, right now I mean, with UPW, we're booking our dates well in advance. Like I said, we planned Market Mania 3 was starting to be planned the day of Market Mania. We knew going into this year that NMU's graduation was May 3rd. We went up against NMU's graduation last year. This year we didn't do that. We still had a great crowd. Doing these larger scale events, you're looking for sponsors, you're looking for talent, you're looking for the people to set up the show. The production value that went into this last weekend show, if you would book that production value from Double Trouble, the company that we work with, it's like $35,000 price tag. Look at the size of the screen, the staging, the truss, the lighting, the whole everything. It's not cheap doing what we do. It's not easy writing all this stuff. Again, the long-term storytelling for me has been the funnest thing. We're writing storylines months in advance. Sometimes people get hurt in wrestling and you need to rewrite a storyline. We had that experience recently with Devin, with Peter B's son being a part of one of our major storylines. Dev got hurt and busted his ankle up. And now we have to rewrite the next 3 months of TV because it really is that intricate. Doing these TV shows every week, I'm spending a 40-hour work week producing a 30-minute TV show. I'm now going to be doing that times 2. And I kind of did it to myself, but things over time are starting to lighten up workload wise. I don't work a normal job anymore, guys. I don't go and work for anybody else anymore. Doing the UPW stuff, doing the stuff with Afterglow and the TV production aspect of things, this is my life. This is my job. This is what I do. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. 25 years of public access to finally get picked up by Fox. Like I told people earlier, if you work at it, you get places in life. Put the work in. Misha, and that TV show is awesome. Thank you. People tell me that all the time. Hey, Steve, great job. And I'm like, who are you talking to? Like the guy behind me? It's really weird taking compliments because, like, I don't know. It's not something I've ever been used to in life. So, Misha, thank you. The guys that are involved in the TV show, Tango, Blake, you guys help UPW get to where it's at. There aren't many wrestling companies on broadcast television. We are one of a select few, and it's a really, really great feeling. Producer Steve doing what he does best. Aw. I have a great support. I have a great team. Yeah. One of the comments I'm laughing at. One of the comments up above on here I'm laughing about. No way you got Steve on here. Let's go. All right, here's the deal. Pro wrestling is a bunch of fucking nobodies arguing over who's the biggest fucking nobody, right? So that comment's probably directed at something I said on somebody else's page, because in a business, when you work with certain things, you're trying to get certain places, especially in sport or in entertainment, sometimes you have to know who people are. I, much like a nice chunk of the group of people on this call right now, we're nobody. So we do stuff on TV, or so we, in Roxy's case, Roxy hasn't been on TV since the 80s, right? We're people and we're accomplishing something we haven't had. What's that? Are you muted? Are you yelling at me? Are you muted?
No.
Why is she skipping out? Blake, is that yours?
Nope. No, I can't hear her either.
What do you mean you can't hear me?
Well,
Oh, now I can hear you. Oh, now you're unmuted. Now I can hear you. I don't know what's happening. Is it that crazy California stuff?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. California's a weird place. I love
No,
it though.
it's not.
No, it's not. It's
See,
like Vegas.
you heard that.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, you're good now.
No, I've been on TV. Dr. Phil, I've been on.
Let's make a deal. Yeah, we've had small appearances here and there.
Yeah, little stuff like that. Wrestling, no.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm getting at is
this
group specifically is a very humble group of people.
Yeah.
We have all done great things in certain stuff. The comment above, I made a comment a while back that if you don't know who I am, you fucking should. And I stand by that comment, and I will stand by that comment. The company that I work for right now is going places. We're doing shows in different states. We're getting recognized on national TV. We are recognized internationally. I'm very proud of the work I do. I'm very proud of the work of the people that I work with. And I will stand by that. But much like I said, the people on this call and the other people I work with, we're very humble people. Believe it or not, even though I said that, I'm pretty humble about what I do. I don't take compliments very easily. Again, like I said, it throws me off. I tend to go into panic mode, but yeah.
And on that note,
what else happened?
Well,
Other than some cocky
I don't know.
fuckers piss me off.
But we'll still talk shit, so.
Guess what? Whatever the fuck your name is, I'm on Fox, bitch.
what a group.
I love it.
I mean, I don't really know if I have much more. Besides, I could ask Steve another question.
Oh, please don't. No.
Please don't. I don't shut up, as we've noticed. For somebody that hates people, I talk a lot.
Yeah, make it stop.
All right, then let's switch to Roxy. Oh, now she just went totally black.
Disappeared.
She did not want to talk.
Back to me, Blake.
There, I had a phone call coming in. Go ahead.
Oh. Okay. So, this question will be for Roxy. So from your days from Glow, what are some of your favorite accomplishments and moments from your time there?
In Glow?
Yeah.
I think basically, I started out not being not being athletic, and also being very, believe it or not, very shy, and not being able to get in front of an audience. So I think my biggest accomplishment was to turn, I'm going to say this, Tracy Phelps into Roxy Astor. I said
Who the fuck is Tracy?
But Phelps, Tracy.
I love
Phelps,
when she says that to me. I'll be like, "Hey, Tracy, Steven, it's
Tracy
Roxy."
Phelps, yeah, and to be able to be, and I replaced Tina Ferrari, so that was kind of scary at first, but I didn't want to be exactly like her. I was kind of intimidated by her muscles, and I'm like, I got to take Roxy in a whole different vibe. I also was proud of the fact that they called me the baddest good girl, because I would try to get away with stuff no matter what. I wasn't just a goody good girl. I was a bad good girl. And that's what all the other girls called me. So I think just, from being just a normal person to being, one of the top characters in season 3 and 4, I was really proud of that, because I was just somebody who's never done anything like that before. So that's why I think it's very neat, Stephen, when you're saying that you want to grab a couple girls that haven't done it, but yet they have dreams and they have passions. I get it, because when I got into Glow, I was not going home. There was no way I was going to go home.
we all started out with the dream and with the passion. Whether it was you with Glow or Blake trying to make a podcast, and I was some kid that was just trying to escape reality of his parents going through a divorce, and ended up at a public access station and then at a wrestling event on the weekend. It just kind of fell into place. Kind of like Tango said earlier, he feels like he's just kind of in the right place at the right time these days. Really, for me, that's I was in the right place at the right time, and I've made some really, really cool friends and acquaintances over the years, and it's been an adventure, and I look forward to bringing that adventure to a new group of people and a new generation of talent.
Yeah, me too. Excited
All
to
right.
see you girls.
Okay, well, I think, I think we can end the interview and just.
Well, thank you.
Is there
Blake.
is there anything else you guys want to say?
Just thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. So I again, Blake, I want to commend you on the work that you do. You put in work. That's why we asked you to be a part of UPW. That's why tonight I asked you to be a part of Afterglow. Keep working. I was the same way when I was your age and trying to get into the business and just be around it and be able to do what I do. Like I said, it took me 25 years to do this. Like I finally, after 25 years, got noticed. Sometimes it takes that long. Don't give up on your dreams. I've got kids around your same age. My son's 11, my daughter's 15, gonna be 16. Crazy. So I really see kids like you, and I see kids like Leela and some of these other young girls, and some of them that for some reason aren't reaching out to me, even though I've dropped a couple hints like Ricky Morris. Called you out. Reach out to us, Ricky Morris. Reach out to us. I see Tango smiling.
We keep saying her name.
I know he said something to you in the car ride on the way home from another show last week. Reach out to us, Ricky. I see a lot in this generation, and people like you, Blake, are part of that. So keep doing what you're doing, and I look forward to seeing what you do 10, 20 years from now, baby.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll talk to my dad more about this, and I'll talk to you about it. So, but I'm on board on it. So,
are you going to make the official?
You don't have a
announcement,
choice,
Steve. Are you going to make it Facebook? Yeah. Oh boy,
absolutely.
Blake.
Yeah. So I mean, we actually made a couple talent announcements here tonight on this thing. So,
yeah.
Hang out the next couple days. We'll make them all official on Facebook.
Nice. I'll send you a fresh promo pic.
Right.
Perfect.
How about a way to end it? How about we get a little rap from Roxy, if you don't mind?
Uh-oh. Putting her on the spot. You got a mic drop after it, though.
Okay.
I love it.
There we go. When you meet with Roxy, you better beware, because I'm really strong and debonair. This jet set girl never backs down, because all she wanted was a glow crown. Thank you, Blake.
Thank you for that.
I'm not too old to remember, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, what a way to end this, and I thank you all for coming on and doing this and everything. So,
hey, thanks for letting us crash it.
Oh, anytime. All right, thanks, Blake.
Thanks,
bye,
bud.
guys.
Yep. Have a good rest of your night, everyone.
You too.
Bye, Stephen.
Bye.